Hello and welcome to Shannon Gardens. Thank you guys so much for joining me. So today I wanted to take you guys on a recent trip I made to a local nursery, and I ran across some plants, or a big group of plants of hellebores. And there are a lot of different varieties, and what really intrigued me to these plants is the fact that they were blooming. So, even when you go to nurseries now, there's not a whole lot in bloom to choose from, so I'm always excited if I see something new that is in bloom in the winter time. So I wanted to share with you guys the varieties that I ran across, and then some of my research about hellebores and which one I chose for my garden. All right, so let's have a look. You guys, look at these hellebores. I've never planted these before, but I am very tempted to pick one up. It shows that they're deer resistant and that they bloom in my area from winter to early spring, which is nice. Moist, well-drained soil, mulch to maintain summer moisture, and drought tolerant once established, which would be great. But there's so many pretty colors, and I think I am going to need to pick one up and try my hand with the hellebore. You guys let me know if you've had any luck or if you've planted them, and if you have any tips or things that you can pass along in caring for them. This is a winter jewel black diamond, but then look at this one down here. I thought this was so pretty in the picture. The wedding party true love. Look at the petals on this flower. Just so many different colors. I had no idea that there were so many options here. Here are some other varieties. We've got the Hellebores-nursery. That's a pretty color. Oh, and then I want to show you guys too. I saw this beautiful color over here. It's kind of a dark burgundy wine color, almost like a Merlot color. Look how pretty that is. And this one says it's, I guess that is the name of it, Ice in our Barolo. All right, you guys, so I wanted to show you the hellebore that I picked out from my garden, and this is it. It is called the Shooting Star variety, and it's just got beautiful blooms on it. It's kind of a creamy white with a little bit of a blush pink, and as you can see, there's just lots of flowers on this plant, and I just loved it when I saw it. Now, there are a lot of different varieties that I did show you guys that I ran across. And like I mentioned, I found that they are good in zones 4 through 9. So there are a lot of different varieties out there, and it does cover a wide range of planting zones. These do generally flower in winter or early spring. Depending on your zone, it will depend on when it flowers. So from my zone 7B, it may flower earlier than in other zones. And I'm sure that depends on the variety that you're choosing as well. But in general, I found that those are winter to spring bloomers. Okay, so what I did find out about the hellebores, evidently they're pretty easy to grow, which I'm super excited about. They are also deer resistant, which is great as well. I've had a bit more of a problem in the last year with some plants getting eaten by deer, so I'm really trying to keep an eye out for deer resistant plants. I did find that these actually prefer semi-shade or dappled sun to shade. So these are more shade preferring type of plants. Now, it did say in my research that they prefer in the winter to get more sun, and a lot of people were suggesting that you could plant them under deciduous trees because in the winter it's going to get that sunlight that it needs to flower, but then in the spring and summer it's going to get the shade from the leaves coming back in on those trees to help protect the plant, which is what it needs. So this is more for a shade garden or semi-shade to shade, especially in the summertime. So you'll want to bear that in mind as well. Now, I do have a deciduous tree that I have a pot under, and I actually think I'm going to put it in there, at least for the time being, and then I may decide to move it in the springtime. But I think for now, I am going to put it under that tree because that seems like an ideal location for it. A couple other things that I did find is that the plant likes well-drained soil, and it also is drought tolerant once established, which is great. These get 1 to 3 feet tall and wide. I did want to point out that you may have noticed that I was wearing gloves throughout the video, and that is because upon researching about hellebores, I did find that they can cause skin irritation. So I thought it better to play it safe than sorry, and I did wear my gloves. I did also find upon researching that these appear to be toxic to humans and to animals. So I think that that brought up a good point that I wanted to make sure to mention, is that when you are bringing in plants into your home or garden, it's a good idea to do your research and make sure that that is the right plant for your environment. And you can find out things such as if they are toxic or if they do cause irritation, and just make sure that you are bringing home a plant that is good and suitable for your space. All right. So I think that that's it. I'm going to get this in the pot and show you guys the final result. Okay, so I have my hellebore planted in my pot underneath my tree, and I think it just looks beautiful, especially with the sunlight coming through. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I'm so excited about finding a new plant and adding that winter interest into the garden. So thank you for joining me with that. Please make sure to like and subscribe. And until next time, happy gardening and goodbye.